Hey! How's it going, everybody? Xylith Zeno. Thanks for subscribing. No, Dart Tom, this is not the suicide stream. We're saving that for a rainy day. Brick Boy Builds. 3 months, thank you. My nuts are hanging out? God damn it. Not again. I'm so sick of them being exposed. What the fuck is this? Well, in a little bit, once everybody gets in here, it's gonna be, some guy made me a, let's see, where is this? Some guy made me a mental illness, mental illness tier list. So that's what it's gonna be pretty soon. Very classy for our first stream back, I think. Reed Postalman, what's that? Oh no, that's the book you wrote. Yeah, I finally saw your email today, Red Moth. I thought you were writing a direct sequel to The Triflers, but then I saw it was like, what a group of teens who are inspired by Don Bracken. Very interesting. I'm looking forward to that. Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself. Don't know why AutoMod wanted to restrict that one. Big Twitch. Twitch is working for the pedo ring. They don't want anybody to know. Is the audio repeating intentional? No, is the audio repeating? You guys should only be hearing what I hear. What are my thoughts on the Holocaust? Not enough movies about it. Frankly, not enough movies. Yes, Drags, I do remember you. Bill Dorr, welcome aboard, buddy. Bipolar is E tier? We'll find out. We'll find out. Who's Epstein? Well, it all started in 1987 when a young up-and-comer into the business world, Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, emerged onto the scene, kicking and screaming. 420 Red Snake, welcome aboard. Am I participating in No Nut November? Thanks for the question, Mumkey Jimmy. We'll find out. Let's see. We're 9 days in. Anything can happen. Who knows? My dad's literally watching your videos in the other room. What, is your dad a 14-year-old boy? Why is he watching my videos? Grow a full power beard, please? My friend, if I could, I would. Any guy you see who doesn't have a good beard cannot grow one. Otherwise, they would do so. You failed No Nut November on the very first day. It sounds like you weren't even trying. He's watching my edgy high school short film won an award. That's a good one. That's one of the good ones. Hey, Real P2000, thanks for the host. Epstein is the founder of America, some might say. He's a founder of a certain kind of America. Did you see my new Lego Shrek video? No, I didn't, Baron. Maybe we should go watch that right now. Let's see, where do I find it? Let's go to Baron something something. I'm subscribed, so it should have popped up. Unless it's like a month old, then in that case I did watch it. Baron, damn it. Von Brunk. All right, guys. Here is the... Oh, okay. We called the... I think I watched this, but let's watch it again. Let's watch it again. All right. Shut the fuck up, Spyro. Here we go. Okay, here we go, folks. Live reaction. The Baron Von Brunk Show. Here we go. Oh, fuck! We've all been there.
Get in my belly!
Those poor nuggies, they could have been mine. I don't think I did see this one. This has slipped through my radar.
It's never ogre. It's never ogre. It's never ogre. It's never ogre. It's never ogre.
Looks like it's almost over.
It's never ogre. It's never ogre.
Why does Shrek have an evil monster voice? That's the opposite of the moral of the movie. You took nothing away.
It's never ogre. It's never ogre.
He sounds like the rock biter from Neverending Story.
I eat smoked chicken than any man seen. I am a backdoor man.
The title's a dirty lie. It's a dirty lie, and you know it is. Well, welcome aboard. There's something unsettling to me about seeing animated Legos interacting with real-world food. Maybe it's because there's the pain in my heart that those nuggies could have been devoured by me, and instead they were devoured by hunks of plastic. Bro, that was epic. Wow. Gary's a big fan. You should go subscribe. It's Julius Von Brunk on YouTube. Go check him out. It's Lego, not Legos. Hey! Nobody asked you. I don't remember a goddamn person asking you what it is. Anyway. I realized, even with my double monitor setup, I'm too stupid to make it so I can see the chat and my my mental illness tier list at the same time. So I'm going to have to configure some shit real fast. Okay. If we put you over there... and we put you right there. Okay, this is working out. And then we drag you over here. Is that going to work? Does that work? Let's see. Yeah, I did that right. Hey, Poop Face, thanks for subscribing. Well, it almost worked. If we drag... there we go. Okay, you guys ready to do a mental illness tier list? Some guy made this for me and sent it to me. If you want to send me your own tier lists or quizzes or whatever, you can send them to mumkeyquiz@gmail.com, I believe. You would think I would know. Watch your favorite video vape nash from your favorite content creator, age 3. That's a deep cut. If you know that that the only age 3 video I've watched is Vape Nation, and I decided at that moment that he's the least funny person on the internet. If you remember that, that's a deep ass cut. If you saw my most recent video, top 5 words that rhyme with bigger, when I say gold digger, I throw in a picture of his wife who doesn't seem to speak English. And people in the comments are more upset that I made fun of this e-celeb than the fact that Epstein didn't kill himself. They don't care about the greatest, one of the biggest scandals in modern times. They're more upset that some random bitch who has a podcast and says 3 words per episode was made fun of. Okay, let's do this tier list. I'm really excited about it. Baron says, I find Ela to be attractive in an ugly kind of way. Wow. I don't know what that means. Because the wife is a millionaire, you retard? Yeah, but it's a joke. I mean, that video is chock full of things that are not true, but that seems to be the one that the kids are more concerned about. I don't know. Okay, let's get through this. Phobia. The fear of anything. Now that's a big one. Because there's millions of types of phobias out there, folks. Homophobia, classic. Transphobia, classic. Islamophobia, classic. So many good ones. The fact that phobia is such an all-encompassing, just if you're scared of anything, there's a phobia for it. That makes it pretty powerful in my mind. I'm going to go ahead and throw phobia in A tier, but what do you people think at home? You guys got any hardcore opinions on where phobia should go? Alzheimer's is S++ tier. It only goes up to S. He didn't give me that option. Phobia is C tier, B tier. I don't know. There's lots of really funny phobias out there. Claustrophobia, the fear of Santa Claus. And that's about it. No, at the end of the day, maybe there's only 4. Homophobia, transphobia, Islamophobia, and claustrophobia. S tier, it's the only reason humans are still alive. Good point. It's really, phobia is the driving force behind the evolution of many, many species, if not all of them. It's so iconic, it's got to be S. I don't know about S. A tier is being generous. S tier, I don't know. I'm sure we'll find some better things for S tier. Let's go on to the next one. Jerusalem syndrome? What the fuck is that? I don't know what that is. Is there an option for I don't know what the fuck this is? Can I add one? Add row below. It's gonna be called literally who? Okay. How do I save it? No. Okay. What? Everything's going wrong. Can't even read what it says. Okay. This one, I don't know why new popped up. Let's delete that shit. Okay, here we go. Jerusalem syndrome, literally who? Does anybody in the chat know what it means? You're pro-Israel? Oof. That's a mental illness. That's no good. Mental phenomena involving the presence of religiously themed obsessive ideas, delusions, or other psychosis-like experiences that are triggered by a visit to the city of Jerusalem. Jerusalem syndrome is what people like Ben Shapiro have. Okay. Jerusalem syndrome should get SS ranking. That's some cold shit, brother. that's some cold, hard ranking. Oh, I tip my fedora to you, my friend. Yeah, I'm streaming right now to practice because tomorrow at around noon Central Time, Florian and I are going to return with some, is it Kino action? So I wanted to make sure I still remembered how to stream before I fucked up our podcast. All right, well, I don't have enough experience with Jerusalem syndrome to put it anywhere other than the literally who category. Did I accidentally delete F tier? We need to add F tier. Add row above. Okay. I don't really know how to use this website very well, do I? Hey! F in chat, folks. God fucking damn it, come on, F! There you go. What, dark red for failure? But no, S is dark red. Well, pink, sure. Okay. Thank you for all the Fs in chat. OCD, aka the mental illness every teenager pretends to have, other than depression, bipolar disorder. But OCD, it's that one where people say, "Oh man, I am so OCD. Every time I leave the house, I have to make sure the stove is off. I am so OCD." Oh really? Oh, you do a common sense protocol? You think you're OCD? Real OCD is the motherfuckers who can't go to bed until they get out of bed, check that their door is locked, unlock it, lock it again, unlock it, lock it again, go back to bed, rinse and repeat 50 times before they can relax. That's real OCD. Jared Jams, I know you. I believe that you do have OCD because I've seen your videos that you send me. He says, I have OCD for real. I have very repetitive thoughts. Yeah, being a normal human being is not real OCD. My boy Jared Jams is what real OCD is like. So, Jared Jams, you would be the expert. Where would you rank this? I'm gonna trust your judgment on this one. He says G. That's not an option. Try again. Hey, Doug Wild, what's going on? Can't go to sleep without shouting the N-word at least 10 times. I feel you, bro. We've all been there. Drake Dragsaw says B. Maybe C. But where's Jared? He went to Jared. He must be thinking real hard about this one. Jared says E? That's not an option, Jared. Come on. God damn it, I give you one chance to shine in the sun and you fuck it up. Fine, I'll go with D then, because it's not quite F, I don't think. Anxiety. Oh, that's a toughie. Too much fun with that anxiety. So anxiety, to me, let's see if I can inappropriately describe what all of these mental illnesses are like. Anxiety is the constant stress. It's the feeling of, you know, when you tip back too far in your chair and you're about to fall in that split second where your heart like drops out of your chest and it's just pure panic. True anxiety is that 1 second of stress and panic prolonged over hours, days, weeks. The feeling never goes away. It's no bueno. It's no fun. Classy Star says anxiety more like who cares, am I right? Okay, Classy Star, you just earned a mod. Okay, how do I mod him? Mod, okay. Classy Star is now a mod. Classy Star, folks, if you're not subscribed to the Mumkey and Big Show channel, well, we had a Biggs art contest. Classy Star won just a couple hours ago. He's a hero. And he did not want the grand prize of Biggs's sweaty old Star Wars shirt. Jared Jams claims he was spelling out the N-word. Well, too bad. Your E ended up putting OCD in D. OCD, that's right. Everyone has anxiety, so it should be C tier. That makes sense. Okay. Anxiety is too generic to be anywhere above C tier. Sounds like a lot of people are agreeing for C tier. While I do agree that it's generic enough that everybody can claim to suffer from it, I think it's the 5% of the true anxiety population that understands. And I'm not claiming I'm part of this, by the way, but I think there's a certain subsect of anxiety suffering people who feel the real shit and is not fun. It's not fun. But if we're ranking anxiety as a general population, I think C tier is fair. Oh is illegal? No, you guys can all you want. Oh wow, this guy Buttercup Boobs is complimenting me and the auto mod decided to hide it. Thanks. Drug abuse. Oh yeah, drug abuse. Oh boy, howdy. You know, guys, I have a secret to confess. I'm addicted to marijuana. I'm a real drug abuser. I can't go a day without smoking that Mary J. You know what I'm saying? It's a true addiction. It's painful. It's destroyed my family. I don't know how I'm going to go on. I hear about people who are addicted to meth and cocaine and crack and all these things. But marijuana addiction is more real. Because when I get high, man, I can't even get off the couch. You know what I'm saying, brother? My mom wants me to clean my room. Mom, I'm too high. You know what I'm saying? Anxiety is like autism. Everyone gets it sometimes, but it's only a disorder in certain cases. Everyone gets autism sometimes? What do you mean? I smoked my deceased grandma's leftover medical marijuana I picked up from her manor care. Oh, did you get addicted? I heard one puff and you're just addicted for life. Only degenerates inject marijuana. I agree, Waterman. That's why I think it should be really high on the list. Drug abuse is easily SS tier. Well, is alcoholism on here, or does that count as drug abuse? Because I don't see alcoholism as its own thing. Just from spending time with Asperger, I've seen the most intense case of alcoholism I'll probably ever see. When I had to go rescue him from the police when he was living in Raleigh, that was some fucked up shit. I think I agree with the chat. I think drug abuse is an S tier because it's one of those things where maybe she's born with it, maybe it's Maybelline. You don't, unless you're like a crack baby, you're not usually born addicted to drugs. It's the real nurture versus nature sort of thing where if you're down on your luck, you're having a bad time, and you want to feel better, you might try a drug, and that might lead to that downward spiral of your entire life. I think a few of us have been there. Not going to say any names. A tier for Asperger. No, S tier for you did it to yourself, and now you're fucked. You did it because you wanted to feel better, and it ruined you. That is some dramatic irony, and I think it deserves S tier. Drug abuse, huh? I tried marijuana for the first time ever. No wonder why your username is Dank Memester. You got that dank weed flowing through your veins. You're screwed. Fuck, dude, I'm drunk right now! The 4 exclamation points really sold that message for me. Oh shit, we're on depression now? Thanks for letting me know, Classy Star. Okay, depression. God, man, it gets to the point when you self-diagnose yourself with depression at age 15, it sort of waters down the potency of classifying it on a tier list like this. Because depression is another one of those things where I genuinely believe, like somebody in the chat was saying about autism, every single person on Earth suffers from depression to some degree, whether they know it or not. Because depression is the feeling of extreme lethargy towards existence. You lose interest in all the things that you thought were fun. You don't want to do anything. Really, your entire life just becomes the essence of the desire for death. And maybe you're so depressed you can't even get out of bed to kill yourself. You're just that fucking sad. It's it's a rough one. But it's so much of it everywhere, and every single teenage girl claims to have it because Chad didn't want to fuck her. So I don't know. I think depression is a good B tier. But what do you guys think? Let's see what the chat thinks on this one. I'm going on 3 years of this shit. Yeah, tell me about it. Depression more like government manipulation. The fucked up thing about depression, and here's something that I can actually share from experience, is that when you want to get better and you want the cure, the options they give you are therapy or medication. And the medication, in my experience, makes you far worse than just being depressed without medication. So if the mental illness is to a degree that the cure for the mental illness is worse, I think it makes depression kind of look like a cuck. Because my depression pills made me feel a lot worse than my depression ever did. Ever did. What do you guys think? Depression isn't real, just be happy. Thanks, Tomas. Why are all these attractive blondes attracted to brute jocks and not magnificent gentlemen such as myself? Ziggy, did you find my diary? Who said you could read that? Go ahead and make a Joker reference, you fuck. Medication don't work, and I've never had a good experience with a therapist. They're all hippies. Yeah, Dolores is right. What's depression? Just smile. F tier. Now, I'm going to go for B tier. We're filling up all the tiers so far. Bipolar. I like bipolar. I don't know if we're ranking these in order of severity or in order of what's the most fun. Really, it's just whatever I feel like at the time. Bipolar disorder is one that I really, really like because the mania. I don't know if you've watched any of my content over the last decade, But every now and then, I'm not saying I have bipolar, by the way. I'm saying I experience constant bouts of pure mania and also constant bouts of extreme depression and lethargy. I'm not self-diagnosing myself with bipolar. I don't give a shit about having any fucking secret club mental illness anymore. Who fucking cares? But mania, that is fun. I don't know why people always bitch about bipolar disorder when half the time you're having the time of your life. If I could be manic 24/7, you better believe I would do it. It's a lot of fun. You're motivated. You have so much energy. You want to get shit done. It's like you just popped an Adderall for the first time in your life, and you're ready to learn calculus, folks. Love the mania. But it's the juxtaposition of the high highs with the depression's low lows that I guess makes bipolar disorder so upsetting to people. When you go from 100 to 0 back and forth as the weeks go by, I guess that can really take a mental toll on a person. Bipolar is for 14-year-old girls. Hey, Tomas, thanks for the bits. I don't know why the bits aren't popping up on screen. I'll try to fix that for the next stream. Did you see... Drake Dragstar, are you quoting my own tweet at me? Because I'm the one who tweeted about Avatar comparing it to Joker. It's like MDMA, but you don't get to choose to do it. Yeah, but, you gotta live a little. Live life on the wild side. Make mania pills? They do. I'm pretty sure it's called Adderall. Maybe Adderall only made me manic, but I was ready to take on the whole world back in high school when my buddy gave me one. This says a lot about society. You're too manic to realize not to jump off a roof and too depressed to stop yourself from jumping. Well, if that's true, then that's why I probably don't have actual bipolar disorder, because I've never been so manic that I wanted to commit bodily harm. That just seems crazy. I just get real loud and proud and fun. And by fun, I mean annoying as fuck. Let's bipolar, I like it better than depression. I'm throwing it in A tier. Fuck it. What do you guys think? Adderall is almost identical from meth. Well, either somebody needs to send me some Adderall or send me some meth. No, don't do it. There's a reason why drug abuse is S tier. Don't do it. Commit jump off roof. I know a dude that's bipolar, but he's also severely autistic. Sounds like a bingo to me. He's living the dream. Boy, I sure do hope somebody got fired for that blunder. That is true. I do hope that. E for Etika or B for Bridge. Oof. Oof. Do a side-by-side comparison between Adderall and meth? Maybe one of these days. Brain damage? Oof. Okay, brain damage. You guys hear that really old story? If you ever take any Psychology 101 class, you'll probably hear this story of the guy who had like a metal rod shot through his fucking brain and he lived and he was okay, but it like took out the part of his brain that gives him a personality and he instantly became a straight up like sociopath and he completely changed his personality. That's a fun story, and that's brain damage in a nutshell. Our brains are so complicated that even to this day we don't know how they work completely. It's like, sure, you can read up on the fucking electric zaps go from the neuron to the neuron, blah, blah. Whatever. Scientists are making shit up. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. The brain is so complex that even my brain cannot figure itself out. So brain damage cases are highly interesting because you never know what's going to happen. You never know. If somebody survives and their brain gets fucked up, anything could happen up there. It could change everything. It's the mental illness for the football jocks. I have permanent brain damage from lack of nutrients as a newborn from lack of carotene. Phineas Cage is his name. He got his frontal lobe damaged and it changed his personality drastically. Yeah, that's awesome. I love shit like that. Like, I got a metal rod through my brain and now I have a different personality. That's nuts. I wonder if getting shot in the head and surviving causes parts of your body to go numb. Probably. I do think we're in the stone age of psychology. I doubt almost everything in that field. Yeah, I think it's the least respected science, right? Hey, Hopskull, thank you for the bits. Cheers to you, my friend. Yeah, I wonder if 1,000 years from now, scholars will look back on modern day psychology books and just fucking laugh and say, look at these morons. What were they thinking? They had no idea. They have no idea what they're talking about. Brain damage. What are you guys thinking for brain damage? I'm going B for brain damage, but what do you guys think? I love brain damage. Mumkey 2019. I've said worse things. C, D, B, S, C. Imagine how fucking disappointing it must be to live through that and not die. Like, geez, so unlucky. You got that right, Daxie. A, C. You guys are all over the board. All over the board. I'm going to average it out to a C, because that's what I was leaning towards anyway. No, B. B for brain damage. That's right. Autism, okay. If you guys have seen the latest Predator movie, the Predator remake, it's a movie that claims autism is the next step in human evolution, and the predators want to kidnap autistic children to harness their powers of autism to make the predators more powerful and strong at being predators. That is literally the plot of that fucking movie, and it was hysterical. It's hysterical. I'm not joking. Go watch the fucking movie. It's not. That is literally the plot. I'm not being. I'm not embellishing at all. If anything, I'm watering down what truly happens. That is literally the plot of the movie. Autism. It's an S tier because it's one of those that everybody uses colloquially as a form of insult, but really, I think it's due to jealousy, because in reality, don't we all wish we were autistic? From what I understand, autism is you have a lack of social awareness in many circumstances often, but your mental capabilities and things like math and science and Sonic the Hedgehog and memorizing Pokemon stats, it goes through the roof. I don't socialize in the first place. If I lost all abilities to socialize in a human way, you wouldn't even notice, because I'm already experiencing that now. I'm experiencing the downsides of autism, but none of the pluses. If I could plug in the autism chip in my brain and suddenly be an expert at math and science and Sonic the Hedgehog, I would do that shit in a second. I am unironically envious, because 1 in 100 people have it. That's how evolution begins. It starts off as a slight genetic mutation or defect, and then whoever's better in society, they pass it on and on and on and on and on and on. I don't know. Am I off base here? What do you guys think? That's savant syndrome, not autism. What's the difference? What is the difference? I memorized all the Yu-Gi-Oh effects. Worth it. Well, any Yu-Gi-Oh effect pre-2005 I probably have memorized, but that's just from years of playing the same shitty Game Boy Advance games over and over again. Autism could make you an Elliot Rodger, though. Wait, that makes it better? Thank you, Bionicle. You're proving my point. Easy S tier. If the Predator were real, Mumkey would have no viewers. I don't even know what that means, Swarley. I don't know what you meant by that. I have Asperger's. It's kind of depressing sometimes, but the benefits outweigh the negatives. See? Even Drake thinks so. Mike says, autism is a superpower. Haven't you seen Predator? Did you just pop in a minute ago? I just said that. Autism should just be called Tangle Brain. Autists clearly get puss. Look at Emperor Lemon. He's got a girlfriend. Helped him. Okay, let's move on. Borderline personality disorder. Can somebody explain this to me in the chat? I'm not familiar with borderline personality disorder. What does that mean? BPD. Is Asperger still in jail? No, he got out months ago. Basically, insufferable person disorder. I've met a few of them. Just Google it. No, I want you guys to to do all the work for me. You switch personalities quickly and can't control your emotions. That sounds like some headmates bullshit. Okay, the 9 symptoms of BPD: fear of abandonment, People with BPD are often terrified of being abandoned or left alone, unstable relationships, clear or shifting self-image, impulsive, self-destructive behaviors. Uh-oh. Self-harm? Yeah. Extreme emotional swings. Man, this one sounds like a lot of fun. It's what Jackie has. I don't know if you're joking or not, but you're probably right. It means you want to be Ramona Flowers. Is that from, what is Ramona Flowers? Is that from Scott Pilgrim? I don't remember. I'm not joking. Yeah, well, in that case, as somebody who's evidently gone head to head with BPD, it is a real force to be reckoned with, my friends, for sure. With just based on what I've read in the chat so far, it sounds like the makings of a god tier supervillain, like in a drama, like a realistic drama in a world where people don't have superpowers. The real villain would be somebody suffering from BPD who has no control of themselves and just is a menace to everybody they know and love. I'm gonna throw that in 8s here. But what do you guys think? I used to work at a ward, and I swear people with BPD are the funniest people ever. They almost always have a child cartoon character obsession. What, like Steven Universe, or more like a Johnny Test? Whip crack. It's a surefire way to end up in jail. Well, yeah. BPD and ecstasy conceited with low self-esteem. Every single female is at least a little bit crazy. That's coming from Jared Jams, folks. 8's here for sure. Okay, I'm glad you guys agree. Mumkey, I added Brad Dassey on Snapchat. Sheet, you retweeted his username. And now he keeps texting me about how he hates his wife and doesn't know what to do with his life. Wow. To a complete stranger. Oof. I hope his wife isn't watching this. Big Pussy Dragon? Cool. Okay. Contard's Delusion? Was that Digibro's nickname in elementary school? Contard? Can somebody tell me what Contard's Delusion is? I'm Brad's wife. Oh no. Conrad Contard. People think they're dead? Really? What is that like? So what's the delusion? Like, you think you're dead, but so what? You just lay there like you're dead? You lay there like you're in a coffin? What do? It's the opposite of libtard. That's a good one, Thick Genie. That's actually really good. What do these contards do? I mean, I'm envious of those with it because I wish I was dead. It sounds great to think you're dead because you live with no fear. Okay. Sounds like a person who had all their nerve endings removed and will just walk on fucking glass all day. They want to eat your brains and they're scared of pea shooters. Uh-oh. It's the delusion that everyone in your life is the same person in a lot of disguises. Okay. Okay, Google. What is Contard's delusion? Not contour delusion.
According to Wikipedia, psychiatry, Cotard delusion, also known as walking corpse syndrome or Cotard syndrome, is a rare mental disorder in which the affected person holds the delusional belief that they are already dead, do not exist, are putrefying, or have lost their blood or internal organs.
That is horrific. That sounds like a lot of fun. Are there any famous examples? Any celebrities who have suffered from this delusion? And evidently it's not Contard, it's Cotard. According to my Google. I feel like a Contard now. So it's when 4chaners think everyone else is an NPC? I don't think that's quite what it said. When I was younger, I pondered the possibility that everyone else was actually a robot. Okay, well, it sounds like fun to assume that you're already dead. But I just cannot put myself in the mindset of being alive and thinking you're dead. How would you justify existence? Like, you wake up in the morning and eat a bowl of cereal. How do you think you're dead? You're sitting at the table eating a bowl of cereal. I guess if it's a mental delusion so far removed from proper mental capacities, it must be pretty powerful and good, because I can't even imagine what it would be like. How would you justify pain? Evidently, they don't even feel it. Sounds like a fucking nightmare. Yeah, it does. I'm gonna go with it sounds like some sort of brain damage to me. I'm gonna go with B tier. You guys on board with B tier for Cotard's delusion? You're Bruce Willis from the end of Sixth Sense. Sixth Sense. I'm not even gonna try to say that shit anymore. Sixth Sense. There you go. It's a dead cereal. Do they think they're in heaven? Speaking of which, I hope religious belief is on this mental illness list. All right. Gambling addiction. Oof. Oof. We've all played Pokemon, gone to the game corner, lost all of our tokens playing that damn slot machine. We all know the pain. Personally, as far as I'm aware, nobody in my family and nobody that I know has suffered from gambling addiction. So I have not seen the effects of it firsthand, but I know it is just crippling. It's just a fucking crippling thing that destroys families. Does anybody have CSGO Lotto? Yeah. Does anybody have any experiences in the chat that they want to share? Put it in the reject tier. No, I mean, gambling addiction, I think it's a pretty serious thing. It's someone who's bad at math. I just won $50 betting on baby fights. Hey, good job, Sultan. I only ever gambled once in my entire life, and I won $45 at the casino. Yeah, when I was 18, I went down to Argentina, and the gambling age in Argentina is 18. It's the only time I've actually gambled, too. And I played the roulette wheel because it's my favorite from when I was playing a Super Nintendo casino game. And I also won like $250, but it was in Argentine pesos, which I think translates to maybe like $30 USD. But still, I always like to tell people, hey, yeah, first time I went gambling, I won 250. They don't have to know 250 what. It's the mindset of a gambling addiction makes the victim have to keep playing to cope with the amount they lost to the game they're playing. Now, am I crazy, folks? Or is roulette a game where you cannot lose? I get there's an option in roulette where you can bet on a color. You can bet it's going to land on a red, or you can bet it's going to land on a black, and then you've got a green 0 and a green 00. And those greens are there to make it more fair for the casino. Because let's say you bet on red and it lands on a red. Whatever you bet, you get double back. So I bet $2 on red, it lands on red, I get 4. So that's, it's 50-50, but then you got the green 0, whatever the fuck. So whenever it lands on that, all the people betting on colors get fucked, and that's how the casino makes all the money. The house always wins. But statistically, in my mind, it can't land on red 50 times in a row. Am I wrong, folks? Eventually, it's going to have to land on black. So if you just stay consistent, and hear me out on this. If I bet $1 on black and it lands on red, I'm out $1. So I want to win that dollar back. So the second time, I'll bet $2 on black. Oh, I lost again? Okay. And now I'll bet $5 on black. Statistically, it is every time it doesn't land on black, there's a higher chance it'll land on black next time, right? Because if it's a near 50-50 shot, what are the chances of it landing, like you're flipping a coin, what are the chances of it landing on heads 20 times in a row? Very low. It eventually has to land on tails, right? So if you keep losing in roulette, just bet double the same amount again on the same color. Eventually, you'll win back your money. Am I crazy or am I right? It has to land on red or on black at some point, right? It has to. It's statistically impossible that it will never land on black. You just have to have enough money to continue doubling your bet. So I guess go in as a millionaire and good luck. They use magnets? Oh, shit. That's not the gambler's fallacy. That's probability and statistics, my friend. It has to land on black at some point. You just have to have a thick enough wallet to keep doubling your previous bet. Mumkey loses $3,000. So you're probably wondering how I got myself in this situation. Flashback to this exact moment in the live stream. Good thing you don't gamble. Shut up, Bionicle. You don't know shit. It'll land on black eventually. It fucking has to. It literally has to land on it. Eventually. How am I wrong? It's not gonna. If it lands on red 20 times in a row, then some fucker who's betting on red every time just became a millionaire. Okay? It has to land on a different fucking color. What do you mean? No, it doesn't. It will. I guarantee you, every single roulette wheel on Earth will eventually land on black. I fucking promise you it will. The casino won't let you keep raising the bet indefinitely. If that's true, then that's fucking bullshit. Because they should. That's not fair. It's my money. Casino live stream win? I don't think so. Hey, I'll talk a big game. I'll advise other people on how to spend their money, but I'm not going to be caught dead in a casino. I know how that's going to work. Even though I know it'll land on black eventually, I'm not putting my money on the table. Not again. Biggs will get up out of his wheelchair and make it not land on black to make Mumkey sad. What if you and your friend go in, your friend always bets on red, you always bet on black? One of you has to win, right? Sup, depressed dumbass? That's just rude. The Indians won't lose again to white men. It doesn't have to do anything. It literally does. You spin the wheel and throw in the ball. It doesn't spin forever like an Inception top. It has to land on something. It doesn't just keep going. The problem with roulette is that people get greedy and want to bet on individual numbers, which is why they lose all their fucking money. You have to play smart and bet on the 50-50 other than the 0 and 00. You got to bet on the colors. You know, when it comes to race statistics in America, I always bet on the colors, folks. Can't bet on the numbers. Doesn't work. So gambling addiction, I don't know, man. Get a fucking job. I'm going to go for D. Get fucked. You guys agree? C4, I swear to God, it will land on black. Peace for the love of God. It'll land on black. How does that represent C? Anyway, this sounds like a conspiracy video. That's fair. I saw Game Grumps gamble. I know how this works. Aaron won $1. Hey, why did my music stop playing? Yeah, video pause. Continue watching. Does YouTube think that it's Netflix now? For real? Disgusting. It's despicable. I am thoroughly disgusted. Okay. Eating disorder. Ugh. Ugh. Great. Let's, 1 second. Let's check the you guys tell me what you think of eating disorder. I gotta check a thing. They updated Streamlabs in the last year since I last streamed, and I don't understand what the fuck's going on here anymore. Okay, no, this seems right. Okay. Eating disorder, just stop eating. L for land whale. You eat too much pussy. Eating disorders are actually a big problem in America. What, no pun intended? S for my 600-pound life. Let's not even discuss eating disorder because it sucks. Fat ones yet loses mega pounds. Eating disorder with high metabolism is a big combo. Eating disorders are actually a big problem for bigs. Eating order goes from high to low tier based on the disorder. Oh yeah, just stop being fat. Great advice. Did you hear what's been happening on YouTube? What, people getting banned for posting emojis? Is that what you're talking about? Classic YouTube. F for fat phobia or fat phobic. Eating disorder, just starve. Everything I know about eating disorders is not from Biggs, because the Biggs I know does not have an eating disorder. He cultivated that mass long ago and now eats the same amount of food that I eat. But the way that Wings of Redemption describes an eating disorder is that he would like sit in his truck and literally cry because he knew he was going to go to McDonald's and get a shit ton of food, and that he literally cannot stop himself. And that might sound bizarre to the layman like you and I. Like, what the fuck? Get out of the truck and go inside and eat a salad. What are you doing? But the way he described it, he literally could not stop himself from driving to McDonald's, and he was crying in his car driving there. And that sounds, if that's true, and he really truly could not control his brain's desire for that garbage food, that is a scary, scary position to be in. As soon as you mention Wings, the chat, oh no. It's like Joker laughing. Yeah, he can't control it. He doesn't want to be laughing. He doesn't want to eat those Big Macs. He has to. Get rid of the car. Just eat a salad, fat ass. When are you getting Wings on the stream? I don't think he's going to want to join. I got a funny feeling about that. Let's go to the next one so we can make fun of Manic Mumkey from June. Okay. Eating disorder. I'm going to go. And that one's like gambling to me. It's like, man, like, hire one of your relatives to watch you, like to literally babysit you. Babysitting will not stop me from having autism. But if one friend or one family member sits there with me and stops me from gambling or stops me from eating, there's nothing I can do about it. Like, okay, I guess I'm cured. I can't fucking go to McDonald's if they take my keys away. I can't choose to stop being bipolar. You know what I'm saying? All right. First of all, I want to let's be clear with this whole pedophilia thing. What's the line? There's a huge difference people don't seem to understand. Pedophilia is attraction to children between the ages of 8 and I can't even remember my own fucking script. Attraction to children age 14 to 17 is a phobiophilia. You fucking people. Blah, blah, blah. I don't even remember my own goddamn video. Uh-oh, pedophilia. Epstein is watching. What, from heaven? How's he watching? He's watching from heaven. Looks like the auto mod does not like the term pedo, so you guys are going to have to get a little more creative. I'm tired of all these diabetics shooting up insulin everywhere. So pedophilia, is it really a mental illness, folks? Really? Feels like a physical illness. They should have put a phobiophilia on here. Because, to be clear, I have never stuck my penis inside of a pedophile. She was strictly in a phebophile. No. That's not much of a justification, but god damn it, it's all I have. Just let me have it, folks. Please, just let me have it. Mumkey had a close relationship with a child. Uh-oh. Who told you? Pedophilia is treatable, so B. What is it being treatable have to do with how we rank it? We're just ranking it on how we feel at the time. Joker put his fingers in little Bruce's mouth. Oh, God. That wasn't a moment of pedophilia. That was a moment of, I think this kid is my stepbrother and I want him to smile. It was a wholesome, good moment. You should have sunsetted her, Mumkey. I tried. I set her off on a plane into the sunset, and everybody misinterpreted what that meant. But what are you going to do? Mods are not happy with my calls to action. put it in S for so many years underage. Okay, that's pretty good. Even if it's treatable, most psychiatrists won't touch the situation. Yeah, here's the fucked up thing about pedophiles is that if they're a non-offending pedophile and they want treatment, it's really hard for them to get it. Because if you go to a therapist and say, hey, I'm a pedophile, I don't want to be attracted to kids, can you help me? They're probably going to freak the fuck out on you. And frankly, I can't blame the therapist for reacting that way, but it also sucks for the pedophile who wants to improve. What are they supposed to do? In a society that, and yes, we're using Joker terms here, in a society that demonizes this mental illness so much that they literally want to have them hanged publicly and brutally murdered, how do you even pursue getting help? That's a rough one. That's a fucking rough one. But the real bad ones are the ones who don't want to get help and act on the shit, and it's just fucking shitty no matter what. What do you get when you cross a man with a society? Good question. It's a good question. I think Mumkey has something to hide. All of my secrets are out now, buddy. I got nothing fucking left to hide. You Google my name, you find out my whole everything. There's nothing left. If there was, somebody would have posted it to get easy clicks on fucking YouTube by now. Come on. Non-offending ones are just lying. That's not true. That's not true. Speaking of Joker, I love how he turned into a symbol of protest for third world countries. Is that true? Well, all right, pedophilia. It's if you got it, you're either ruining lives or your life is ruined, and that's always fun. So let's go for that's an A tier for me. A tier for the. Never mind. I was gonna say for A cup titties, but I don't think it's appropriate given the circumstance. S tier for kindergarten. That doesn't even. I don't see the correlation between S and kindergarten. Because you give kids that. Never mind. I'm not gonna finish that. All right. A for Austin. It should be E for Epstein. J for my name Jeff. All right, codependency. Okay, Google. What is codependency disorder?
According to Wikipedia, codependency is a behavioral condition in a relationship where one person enables another person's addiction, poor mental health, immaturity, irresponsibility, or underachievement. Among the core characteristics of codependency is an excessive reliance on other people for approval and a sense of identity.
Oh my god, that sucks. Well, I got a funny feeling I've known some people who were like this. Codependency. Okay, so you're enabling other people's addictions and mental illnesses, and you're like a leech. You can't survive without just chomping down on somebody else. I know a few YouTubers who are codependent on me. they can't grow their shit without fucking leeching off of my existence. So I think I might know a few people online who suffer from this. It's basically like Jane and Jesse from Breaking Bad. Exactly. How is Classy Star the smartest person here? I don't even think he's old enough to be in a psychology course. Epstein is spying through Alexa. I don't know what that's in reference to. A for Asperger. Okay, good. Andy Signor. No, Andy Signor does not rely on me. I was talking about somebody else. To answer your question, yes, there's articles about Joker popping up in Hong Kong, Lebanon, Chile, Iraq, and other places. No wonder why it's about to pass $1 billion worldwide. I have anxiety. Raise it to B, you dingus. No! Oh, that makes you anxious. Das the sauce boy? Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see. Does anybody else have any... Ocean Man? Okay. Does anybody have any thoughts on codependency? Because really, I don't know where to put it. Maybe C? Because it's... I don't know. It's like, at least with these other ones, I'm fucked in my own head. Codependency, you're fucked up and you're taking your fuckery and fucking up somebody else too. And the ones that heavily affect the lives of other people, in my mind, are far more intense than the ones where it's just, I'm suffering alone laying in bed wishing I was dead. I think that's a far better, in terms of humanity, it's far better for one guy to be sad in his room rather than some bitch trying to ruin a guy's life. Horrible. Your entire fan base is codependent. D for desperate. R for Rusty. Who's Rusty codependent on? Do a collab with Simi and Jimmy. Now, that guy, I heard that guy's he's a big fuck up. C for fucking cucks. I like that. Yeah, codependent. C for fucking cucks. Because it's desperate and sad and, man, be mentally ill in your own head. Don't fuck with other people. To the C you go. ADHD. Boy, ADHD is one of those where there's so many that are similar that I don't know how to discern them. What specifically makes an ADHD patient different than like ADD or OCD? I guess we'll find out. Okay, Google. What is ADHD?
According to Mayo Clinic, a chronic condition including attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness.
Oh, okay. So it's the one that you get Adderall for then? I don't know. That sounds like one of those where anybody can be diagnosed with it. You go to the doctor and say, "Oh, doctor, oh man, doc, I gotta tell you, I have so much trouble paying attention in my 4-hour lecture at college. Oh, I must have ADHD. Please give me those pills that I can sell for $30 each." What? So getting bored is ADHD? Oh, I had to watch something boring and I couldn't pay attention. I must have ADHD. Am I wrong here? ADHD and ADD are classified as the same thing nowadays anyway. Well, I guess we'll throw them both in the same thing. ADHD means you can't focus on anything you don't enjoy. Well, that's fucking lame. Depression, you can't focus on things you do enjoy. And we only put that one in B tier. ADHD, you're just a normal person. You're only interested in things you like? Yeah, no shit. It's called being a human. Fucking stupid. F tier. Fuck you. Fuck you. Nobody actually has that shit. Fuck you. It's all fake. That ADHD is the adult version of being a 14-year-old. Okay. Alzheimer's. Oh! Ironically, I can't remember what Alzheimer's is. Inappropriate, folks. Inappropriate. It's disgusting. It degrades your mind to the point where you don't recognize your own children. Your own children, folks. Can you imagine how scared and lonely it must be to be an 80-year-old with Alzheimer's? Every single person you meet is a stranger. You don't know who you are. You're lost and alone in a world, and you probably don't even know that death is an option. Fuck that. The Alzheimer's of killers. Man, mental illness is a scam? I don't know about that, Polygon. Alzheimer's is a boomer disease. Okay, boomer. I have Alzheimer's. Wait, what's Alzheimer's? Good one, classy. Okay, let's see what OK Google has to say. What is Alzheimer's?
According to Mayo Clinic, a progressive disease that destroys memory and other important mental functions.
Fuck. Man. To have your brain, which in essence, souls are not real, folks. Your entire personality and sense of being is all up here. There's no soul in your gut. It's fucking made up. You're buying into the Kool-Aid. Your existence is right here. Your body is just, it's like a suit of armor. It's a vessel. The real you is inside your brain. Alzheimer's is your brain rotting from the inside. That is fucked. That is so fucked. If I get Alzheimer's, somebody please kill me. It's not murder if somebody asks you to do it. It's a mercy killing. It's euthanasia. Please euthanize me if I get Alzheimer's. This is the 4th time you asked Google what really it is. Oh, no. Oh, the fact that of all the ones we've been through so far, the one that I would want to have the least is Alzheimer's because it's fucking terrifying. Your brain rots, you lose your memories, you lose your sense of self, then the functionality of your body degrades, and then you fucking die. Talk about a slow motion suicide, folks. Jesus Christ. Just from, if phobia is A and getting Alzheimer's is one of my biggest phobias, I feel like Alzheimer's should be S tier. I can't imagine a more horrific way to die than to have your brain rot from the inside out. You don't realize it's happening. I don't know. I mean, whether or not you realize it's happening, if you wake up in a world where you don't know who you are and you don't recognize the people around you, that is horrific. That is fucking horrific. My grandfather died from a combination of Alzheimer's and my aunt fucking killing him. It sounds like the murder was more the cause of death on that one. I've been waiting an entire fucking hour to post a comment. Hi, Mumkey, I love your content, and you've gotten me through tough times. Hey, thanks, Meat Graffiti. You've gotten me through tough comment reading sections, but that one just saved the day. Hey, Grandma, can I have $5? Uh-oh. She wouldn't even know that you're her grandson. She'd have no idea. I'll kill you if you have Alzheimer's. Just remember to hit me up when you do. Uh-oh. All right. Panic disorder. I experienced my first ever genuine panic attack earlier this year, folks. Not fun. Had to call an ambulance because I didn't know what the fuck was happening. I thought I was having a heart attack, especially because I at the time I was going to the doctor for heart condition related issues. And then on my drive home, when it feels like I'm having a heart attack, I genuinely think, oh, today's the day I fucking die. Today's the day I die of a heart attack driving home. Turns out it was just a panic attack. I don't know if panic disorder is the same as a panic attack. I have to imagine it is similar. Let's see what OK Google has to say. What is panic disorder?
According to Medline Plus, panic disorder is a type of anxiety disorder. It causes panic attacks, which are sudden feelings of terror when there is no real danger. You may feel as if you are losing control. You may also have physical symptoms, such as...
Yeah. So, from my experience, and why I thought it was a heart attack, is because I always heard when you're having a heart attack, it's intense pressure and pain in your chest, and your limbs go numb. And when it happened to me, like it looked like I had cerebral palsy. Like my fucking hands were all distorted and shit, and I literally could not move them. Like my fingers were all fucked up, and I had no control. Like I said, I thought it was a heart attack, but it wasn't. You have shortness of breath. I was breathing so heavily, like you can't breathe. Your chest is just fucking, and you get all fucked up. It was not fun. It was not fun at all. But I don't know if it's specifically defined as feeling terror when there is no real danger. I mean, it sounds like you're kind of doing it to yourself. What did I walk in on? I'm doing my impression of having a panic attack. Hey, Grandma, can I have $5? No, that's not a fucking stroke. I did not have a stroke. Panic attack. Just attack people normally. Okay. The feeling of a panic attack is horrific and truly physically painful. But once you realize there's nothing to be scared of, it's really just, you gotta have the mental fortitude. This is one of those things where you can outthink the illness. Unlike some of these other ones, you can just realize, wait, there's no fucking danger. I'm just freaking out and getting shortness of breath. And the shortness of breath is why my arms are getting all fucked up and crippled. It's all about regulating your breathing. And that's why if you call the suicide hotline, they'll walk you through things to help stop panic attacks. They'll do breathing exercises with you. You got to hold it back and forth. You look around the room and you name 5 things you got to do all your senses. Like name 5 things you can see, name 5 things you can smell, name 5 things you can touch. So if you can just think your way out of it, it might be painful, but You just gotta have hashtag big brain. So I'm gonna throw this one in C. Because, man, it sucked, but you gotta see your way out of it. I had my first panic attack when I was in 2nd grade. Well, hopefully my first is also my last. Not planning on doing that again. Good joke, Dad. Thanks, Waffle. I'm glad you liked it. Add porn addiction to the list. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Oof. It meant a lot more back in, the war days. World War II, Vietnam. People come home from seeing blood and bones and it's always being in panic that they're gonna fucking explode and be shot to death. These days, people claim to have PTSD from being trolled on the internet. It's really been watered and normified down. And I feel like it has to lose a few points for that. Back in the day, PTSD that shit was brutal and badass. These days, half the people who claim to have it are fucking scrubs. I believe they termed it in World War I. Yeah, that makes sense. Doug Wilde almost had a panic attack filming Fast. What happened? You should make a behind-the-scenes documentary about that. I love that short film you made. I got PTSD when I got cucked. Oof. 9/11 have no effect on me. Just stop being stressed, LMAO. It's basically reliving a memory that you don't want to remember. Yeah. It's absolute hell. You feel like you're going to explode at seeing or even remembering what happened. It's absolute hell. Yeah. And for veterans of war or people who were brutally physically attacked, that's probably about as bad in my mind as Alzheimer's, to be honest. But for the people who say, oh, Gamergate gave me PTSD. All these men online judging me for having sex with multiple partners. Oh. Oh, really? You have PTSD from that? Maybe you deserved it. I don't know. Sounds like you just need to fucking think your way past that one. Why are you using black and white? Because I have a huge red zit on my nose and I was embarrassed about it. I said, I'm going to be black and white today. Tomorrow you can see me in full color during his Aquino. Gamergate is real. Okay. PTSD, just out of respect for the veterans who actually experience it when they hear a fucking car engine fucking and they think that they're getting shot at and they lose their mind. Out of respect for that, I'm going to place it right next to pedophilia. Schizophrenia. Oh! Okay, Google. What is schizophrenia?
According to Mayo Clinic, a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly.
May result in some combination of hallucinations, delusions, and extremely disordered thinking and behavior that impairs daily functioning and can be disabling. People with schizophrenia require lifelong treatment. Oof. That's a big oof. So in some ways, it's like just being high all day, every day for months. Oops. My granny was schizo, and she died in a psycho house. Oof. I'm very interested in schizophrenia. I am too. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Stupid. Schizophrenia sounds pretty epic, bro. Hey, Grandma, can I have $5? This is a fun one. I'd like to feel delusions. I don't know. Isn't dreaming, like you go to bed and have a dream, isn't that delusion enough? Do you really want to still have those delusions when you wake up and you can't discern reality from the fabrication of your demented mind? The abbreviation for it is SIZ, and for that it's an A tier. Twitch wants to see my Snapchat woman filter. Yeah, I could probably... I think I've posted that before. Back when the Snapchat woman filter was a big thing, I think I tweeted it out if anybody wants to go find it. You might believe you're in 1984, and it's pretty epic for that. My girlfriend just broke up with me. Well, you're going to get PTSD. All right. I don't know. It's hard for me to. Schizophrenia just seems like generic crazy person suffering from delusions and all that shit. What do you guys think? Whatever the chat thinks, I'll throw it there. S tier, S tier. I guess when you think of a crazy person, the image in your mind is probably a schizophrenic, right? A tier, S tier. I see lots of S's. I think the people, they know what they want. Since it's the all-encompassing ideology of being a crazy person, I think, yeah, S tier makes sense. S for schizo. Split personality. Didn't we already cover that in one of these other ones? Borderline personality? Is split personality the headmates thing? It'd be like literally the movie Split, where James McAvoy, sometimes he's an old British woman, sometimes he's a little boy. Is that an accurate depiction of what it is like in real life? I don't know. Maybe. What do you guys think? Joker? I don't think Joker had a split personality. I think he's a guy who, you know, once he was able to wear a mask, he was allowed to show his true self. Arthur Fleck tried to be the happy-go-lucky guy, but society said, no, you can't be that person. So he said, fine, I'll be the man who I've truly been on the inside the entire time when I put on the face paint. Drinking Arnold Palmer iced tea be like? What? Because it's two different drinks in one? Harvey Dent and Two-Face. Arthur wasn't split. He was just fucked over by a society. That's right. Destiny Hero Double Dude. Split was P-dope until the end. Yeah. I like Split and Glass. I thought they were both pretty good. Would it be cool to see Arthur Joker in DCCU? I don't know. I kind of hope they don't make a sequel, because they can only fuck it up. Especially when you end a movie with a more or less ambiguous ending. It'd be like if they made a sequel to Inception. It's like, oh, well, there goes that ending. I guess now we know what happened. I don't know. I like it being a standalone, personally. Arthur had brain damage. Move it up a tier. If there was a sequel to Joker, I'd want it to be called The Killing Joke. Joker has to meet Harley, though. Harley's doing her own movie, The Birds of Prey, and that Harley has her own Joker from Suicide Squad, so I don't think this Joker can have a Harley. Split personality. The movie Split was pretty good, but then again, people on Tumblr pretend to have headmates, and that's the same thing, and that's just embarrassing. I'm thinking a B. Yeah, are you guys comfortable with putting this in B? Joker doesn't have to meet Harley. Fuck you. Thank you, Bacon. C, B, F, it's fake. You'd like to see a standalone Two-Face movie like Joker did? Yeah, that should be its own classification of DC movies. Is each Batman villain gets their own Joker-esque movie. I would be down to clown with that. Hey, Lawanda Silly Feathers, thank you for the bits. Okay, it looks like people are okay with C, so let's throw this bad boy in. Let's throw it in C. No, in B. In B. I like the movie Split. What can I say? I think it's an accurate depiction. Down syndrome. Oh no. Well. D for Downs? I don't... Okay. Let's see if OK Google can classify this better than I can. What is Down syndrome?
According to Mayo Clinic, a genetic chromosome 21 disorder causing developmental and intellectual delays.
How do I talk about this without being canceled? That's the question of the day. I'm just going to put it out there. I've never, and I cannot speak for all Down syndrome people. I've never seen somebody with Down syndrome who was sad. I think the expression ignorance is bliss is the truest idiom humanity has ever crafted. And I don't know if it's horrible to say, but people with Down syndrome, they seem to be pretty happy people. And that's not so bad. It's really not so bad. Am I wrong? I hate disabled people. No, I didn't say that. It's the best syndrome. I proved it in ISMA number 3. I haven't listened to those since they came out, and I was wasted on most of them, so I don't remember anything I said in those. C for chromosome. Okay. Those with Down syndrome bring a little more to the table. Wait till you hear them scream. There is that TV show, What Would You Do? And they did an episode about like a Down syndrome cashier at a grocery store, and they would have actors, you know, the Down syndrome actor, and then like the actor who's a customer, and the customer would be like, I can't believe you're letting this guy work here. He's way too slow. And then you see how the non-actors, like it's a hidden camera show, and you see how the other people react. And, you know, it was touching. People defend the Down syndrome actor, and then they find out they're on TV, and then they give them a hug. I was like, oh, this is heartwarming. I enjoy watching this. It's they're taking advantage of somebody with a mental illness, or I guess a chromosome disorder, to make their TV show. I respect it. So there's always a Down syndrome cashier at Publix. Why does that make me laugh? Didn't I write a whole manifesto about how I hate disabled people? I don't fucking think I did. You're thinking of Hitler. That's not me. Again, as horrible as it might be to say, if I had to choose of all these which ones I would prefer to have, it would be like I want to have autism. Bipolar is better than being depressed because you got to be manic sometimes. And then maybe I think Down syndrome would be number 3. Doesn't seem that bad. People might like judge you and scoff at you, but fuck those people. People who look down and treat Down syndrome people like shit, they're the ones with the real fucking disorder. Down syndrome people are cool as hell. I've never seen one who was rude or mean to anybody. They're just nice people. Oh, what the hell is this? I gotta read that. It's too small for me to even see. Hey, great. Let's load it up. I just realized I didn't even have my my donation thing on screen, so people can't even donate if they want to, which is probably fine. I don't think I've earned getting donations yet. When you end game yourself, can you give me a shout out? That would really turn me on. Sure thing, slave owner 420. Thanks for the $5. If you want to throw in a tip before the end of the stream and see your thing on screen, it's streamlabs.com/mumkeyjones. I forgot to put that on screen, but that's fine. Okay, Down syndrome. I'm going to throw that in A tier. Do we have too many A's? Maybe. But what are you going to do? When's the last time you've had a fun conversation with a Downy? Go check my fucking comment section. All due respect. Robert Downey Jr. Talk to him all the time. That's it. Cannibalism. Is cannibalism a mental illness? I thought it's just having good taste in cuisine. Yum, yummy, tasty thumbs. I've never met a rude cannibal. Doesn't Ocampo have this one? Oof. Let's see. Okay, how many cannibals are in the chat? Post C for cannibal if you're a cannibal in the chat. I want to see how common this is. Technically, if somebody swallows semen, doesn't that make them a cannibal? If I chew my fingernails and swallow them, does that make me a cannibal? Lots of C's in the chat. Great to see you all there. If I eat my fingernails, am I a cannibal? Because I'm consuming a human. Am I wrong? Am I wrong here, folks? What, if I have anxiety and I chew my fingernails all day? Jerk off and swallow my own cum? It's just carotene. This automata is retarded. Yeah, I'll fix it. I'll fix it next time. I eat all the people who help me with my videos so I don't have to pay them. F chimp. Yeah. Cannibalism, as far as mental illnesses go, it seems sort of like a meme. There are probably more fictional character cannibals than there are actual cannibals in the world. And personally, I've never met anybody who has suffered from this. How many cases of actual cannibalism are there in the world? Like 5 a year? A baby breastfeeding is cannibalism? It sounds like it. It sounds like it. Yeah, I don't think cannibalism is as big of a deal as the media would want you to think. Personally, I've never met a cannibal, and if I did, I'm offended that they didn't try to eat me, because I think I look pretty good. Really, what's the difference between cannibalism and an eating disorder? They're one and the same. D tier. Shit tier. Garbage. Foreign accent syndrome? How about another cannibalism joke, Murray? Okay. Okay, Google. What is foreign accent syndrome?
According to the University of Texas at Dallas, foreign accent syndrome is speech disorder that causes a sudden change to speech so that a native speaker is perceived to speak with a foreign accent.
Okay. So it's like if a college student studies abroad for 2 weeks and they come back and they suddenly have a fucking Australian accent. Wowee. Hey, okay, so foreign accent syndrome, aka pretentious douchebag syndrome. Disgusting. I'm gonna throw an F tier because it already made me mad. But if any of you have any opinions on it to change my mind, let me know now. You transform into Apu from The Simpsons. F for foreign. This doesn't sound real. I'm sure it's real, but it's just stupid. Who cares? Oh, now I talk with a different accent. Oh, I'm so mentally ill. Dumb. Damn right it's pretentious. Thank you. I've got this. It's really sad. Yeah, I'm sure your life has been put on hold, RoboSlop. How can you survive now that you have a different accent? It's the shitty Wook guy from South Park. The fact you put Alzheimer's in A and not literally who pisses me off. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. A bowelomania? Okay. Let's see if I can pronounce this. Okay, Google. Okay, Google. What is a bowelomania?
Here are some results from a search.
Nope. It didn't even know what I was talking about. Okay, let's do the old-fashioned Googling. Bowelomania is a mental disorder in which the patient displays pathological indecisiveness. It is typically associated with anxiety, stress, depression. So basically, whenever you ask your girlfriend what she wants to get for dinner, she's suffering from a bowelomania. She cannot decide. As somebody who has spent a lot of time with people who are extremely indecisive, it pisses me off to no end. I might have the disorder where bowelomaniacs drive me insane. Like, bitch, here are the two options. Fucking pick one before I rip your goddamn throat out. Just pick one. You have to have a preference. Just fucking pick one. Choose. Decide. God damn it. Just fucking pick one. Why are you so indecisive? Fuck you. I hate it. I hate it. This is another fake disorder. It's just fucking women don't know what the fuck they want to eat for dinner. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking every single college freshman. Oh, I'm going to change my major 12 times. Take a fucking class. Don't change the major yet. Just take some goddamn classes. Why are you changing this shit so often? I can't decide how indecisive I am. I hate women. That's a quote. That's a quote. What are you going to do? I'm not going to read that one, Polygon. I'm trying to keep this channel up. Seems like Mumkey had first-hand experience with this. First hand, second hand, third hand, every hand. Too many hands. My sisters don't actually take that long. Give them my phone number. Sup, human. Okay, ADD. Okay, yeah. If we're saying ADD is the same thing as ADHD, that's another F tier. We've had 3 F tiers in a row. Parkinson disease. Is that what Michael J. Fox has? If that is, if I recall, the stereotype of Parkinson's is that you can't stop shaking and shit, but it turns out it's actually the opposite. Parkinson's is when your muscles shut down and you can't move, and it's the medication that you take for Parkinson's. The medication makes it so you can move, but it's so effective you can't. Am I wrong? Let's see what Google has to say. Okay, Google. What is Parkinson disease?
According to Mayo Clinic, a disorder of the central nervous system that affects movement, often including tremors.
Okay, so I think I was right. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me. You're right, I think my grandfather has it, yeah. So Parkinson's on its own is your body shutting down so you can't move. One of my biggest fears, that's horrific. And the only cure, the only way to make it so you can move is a medication that makes you vibrate and shake uncontrollably all the fucking time. And because of Parkinson's, Michael J. Fox had to stop being in major motion pictures. And Back to the Future is my favorite movie. I don't know if when the disease is bad, the cure is bad, and you take away my Michael J. Fox, that's a trifecta of bullshit. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to go B tier. You know what? And I'm satisfied with that. That's the full thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? You think we got this? Are there any here in this tier list that are just egregious in that we should move immediately, or do you think we got a pretty good thing going here? Michael J. Fox seemed to be fine in that Back to the Future reunion. Just stay still, LMAO. Just stop moving. Just try harder to move. Don't need the meds. Yeah, good advice. Cannibalism, change it to B for Brandon. And drug abuse is biased, but okay. I mean, they're all biased. It's a list of my opinions. What do you think a tier list is? There should be a lot more here. I'm just doing the one that some guy sent me. Speaking of which, if you want to make custom tier lists for us to do together on Twitch, send them to mumkeyquiz@gmail.com, and every once in a while we'll hop in and do these together. I thought this was a lot of fun. Would you guys want to do one more? I think somebody made one about my podcast. Does anybody want to quickly rank all of my podcasts together? Let's take a look and see if I can find it. All right. How you doing, Spyro? Harbor Speedway, good. Inbox. Okay, here are some. Let me tell you about Homestuck. No. Mumkey podcast tier list. Here we go. Let's do this one real smooth like. Okay. So it looks like an incomplete list. I got to be honest. I feel like I've been in a lot more podcasts than just these, especially considering the fact that you included the one I did with Mage, and we only had one episode. But let's run through this. State of the YouTube, the podcast of Rusty Cage, Emperor Lemon, and Mumkey Jones. Recently came to an official end. We did one final live stream together while I was down in Florida 2 weeks ago. And we did a live reaction to the Gokanaru video about me. And Emp formally announced he no longer likes doing the podcast, and Rusty Cage and I will continue it with a new name on the same channel. So if you want to tune into that, it's not too late to subscribe. What do you guys think? This really isn't about me. This is about what podcasts you guys enjoyed the most. Sodi, I think, even though it only lasted about a year, I think some good memories came out of that. We learned that Quentin Reviews really loves playing with Legos while recording podcasts, really loud Legos. I gotta talk to guys like Eggy, one Egg White, or Eggman, or whatever you want to call him. Got to talk to Anxiety War for 3 thrilling hours. I really, really enjoyed that podcast. I thought that was interesting. I enjoyed all of the different, the variety of guests that we had on the show. The types of guests that other podcasts wouldn't want to touch with a 10-foot pole. But Rusty Emp and I, we couldn't be more excited to get those people on to talk to them. So what do you guys think? Stop boasting, put it on S tier? I'm not boasting, I'm just reminiscing. If you guys really like it, let's go for it. And then, of course, the famous episode where Emp reveals that he's a vegan and he talks about his Taco Bell order. There are so many classics. So many classics. All right. Nobody's going to remember this one. The Anime Spectrum podcast. Something that I think we did like 3 years ago. It was pretty much the first time I met Asperger. This is back when his profile picture was just anime Jesus Christ. And it's a podcast where we would invite on a guest each episode. We had like Sai, Digibro, Ben Saint, these different people. And the gimmick was we would review the first episode of an anime chosen by the audience, but then the podcast would quickly devolve into Asperger and I trolling whoever the guest was. Like, we would pretend to get into huge fights, and like one time he decided he's going to quit the podcast and he just left, and we tried our best to be good actors so that the guest didn't know what was going on, but I think it was pretty clear everybody knew what was going on. Famously, the Anime Spectrum podcast is the reason why iDubbbz unsubscribed from my YouTube channel. He subscribed because he liked my anime review series, and then when I started uploading this shitty, horrible podcast, he unsubscribed. So fuck me, I guess. It was S tier. No, it's unlistenable. It's utter garbage, and I hate it. I cannot put it in S tier. What do you think about the stinky meme? I'm not aware of that one, Classy. Surprised he subscribed in the first place. Me too, to be honest. Me too. I only remember the King of the Hill episode, C tier. C tier. Okay. If you guys say C tier, we'll go for C tier. Is It Kino? The podcast that is returning in approximately 13 and a half hours right here on Twitch, folks. Erich McSoy has left the building, and all that remain are Florian and I. But we're going to try to get some occasional guests. If you don't know, Is It Kino is our movie review show where we watch a movie and then we talk about it. And usually it devolves into intense arguments about politics and gender and things that really don't have much to do with movies at all. And it gets really uncomfortable really fast a lot of the time. But it's also a lot of fun, and probably one of my favorite podcasts that I've done. I just found out Erich is a real name. Sad. You thought I made it up? No, that's his fucking name. Weren't you going to replace Erich? We were, but then he decided to unquit the show, and then he decided to again quit the show. So it threw a wrench into the whole thing. I thought it was a username. No, it's a real name. Is It Kino? Lots of classic episodes, lots of shitty episodes. What do you guys think? Make him unquit? Nah. You know what? If he doesn't want to be there, he doesn't have to be there. We're going to try to get guests like, I think we might get Mahler on there at some point. Maybe Andy Signor will join in on the fun. A or B? D tier? Unlike Sodi, Is It Kino is S tier? B to A. I see lots of Bs. I see lots of As. Personally, I like Is It Kino. I'm going to put it in A tier. Right there. There you go. Insufferable social media argument, the podcast. I'm just gonna throw that in S tier. I think it's some of the funniest work that I've ever done. It's by far the funniest work Digibro has ever done. It's irreverent. It's satirical. It's drunken shenanigans. The audience was a huge part of the show. The audience created their own lore about Nolan North and the directional Nolans, and everybody would call in, I'm Nolan South. So much fun. So many good memories. So many laughs. And so many dollars earned from the bonus episodes. What can I say? It was a good time at the movies, folks. A good time at the movies. What happened to Manimal? Does he still not talk to you? I haven't heard from Manimal in like 3 years. I have no idea what he's up to. And evidently, he lives like 20 minutes away from where I live right now. But, sometimes it's just too late to rekindle a relationship, especially when you honestly just don't really care that much. I'm pretty bad at juggling friends. Biggs is a handful, let me tell you. It's enough. Why did I ghost Manimal? It was a mutual ghosting. We both just forgot to ever talk to the other person. Remember that time when Digibro unironically called you the N-word on Isma? I don't remember that, but it was probably really funny. What do you mean unironically called you the N-word? Is there an ironic version of calling somebody the N-word? I'm not black, so there's no circumstance where he can genuinely mean it. Whatever. Don't think of Manimal as a friend. Think of him as a source of views and money. I don't think Manimal's the one who is going to bring in the big bucks. What are you talking about? The most views a Manimal video ever got is probably like 3,000. Yeah, Digi says the N-word all the time. It's not a big deal. Anyway, The Depression Chamber. A show that is returning this Monday, folks. Monday fun day. That's right. You guys excited? You shouldn't be. I like The Depression Chamber. I see it as evidence that we are not alone in our mental illnesses. One of the worst mental traps you can fall into when you're deep in your depression is that you're all alone. Nobody else knows the way you feel. You think you're having a unique experience because your brain is fucking with you, and it seems like the whole world is against you. But then you watch a show like The Depression Chamber, and you realize there are millions of people with the identical brain problems. And for better or worse, I think that's a helpful thing to know. Like, it's kind of sad to realize there are so many people suffering just as bad as you. But it's also you need to have that realization that it's not unique to you. And also, the show is pretty fucking funny. Because some of these people, as sad as their stories are, even they would admit their buffoonery and their social fuck-ups are just plain hilarious. That's why the Elliot Rodger Manifesto is the greatest comedic manifesto autobiography of the modern century, the modern age. Depression Chamber is A. D for depressed, but seriously B or A tier. B. I'm dating the fuck Ashley guy now? Oh, wow. You realize all the depressed people in the world are children are autistic when you watch The Depression Chamber? Yeah. Well, people seem to like it. I'm going to go A tier. The two really long Depression Chamber episodes I have on the Simi and Jimmy channel, if you haven't listened to them, just throw it on in the background while you're doing laundry or something. They're worth listening to. It's a good time at the movies, folks. Okay, this one, if you don't recognize it, it's for good reason. Maybe 4 years ago, I think I was 19 or 20 at the time, so like 4 or 5 years ago, whenever the biggest problem in the universe podcast broke up, Maddox started his own podcast and Dick Masterson started his own podcast. And they came out at the same time. And to the fan base of the biggest problem, this was before they hated Maddox or they hated Dick or whatever. So a lot of us were listening to both shows. And there was this guy who is straight up unhinged on YouTube. His name is King Critic. He was a fan of mine, and I think I met him on Discord. And people like him are one of the reasons why I refuse to get on Discord anymore, because you run into some absolute fucking psychopathic maniacs. But we were both big fans of The Biggest Problem, so King Critic and I started a podcast where we would review that week's episode of The Dick Show and that week's episode of The Maddox Show, and we would compare and contrast them and see who put out the better podcast that week. And it was funny because Sean, the audio engineer, was on both shows, so we had rankings like which show had the better Sean this week and stuff like that. It was kind of fun. Sometimes King Critic would go off on a rant about getting rejected at the local swimming pool or some shit. But really, it's probably a living nightmare. I'm going to throw that into D. I'd rather listen to Anime Spectrum for sure. This one is a podcast. Back when I was in the PCP, the only girl in the group was Mage, and she was also the one who talked to everybody the least amount. I think everybody else in the PCP talks to each other all the time. They actually meet up in person. Mage is the one who I think, other than Hypocrite, none of them have ever seen in person, and most of them I don't think even know what she looks like. And as a newcomer, Mage and I were both sort of the outsiders of the group. And at the time, Hypocrite and Nate, they have like a One Piece podcast, I think, where each week they'll podcast about the latest chapter of One Piece. So I thought, hey, let's do a parody. What would be the least expected thing I could possibly do? What if Mage and I released a podcast where we review the Naruto anime book one page at a time? And so we put it out pretty much as an April Fool. It's like a 30-minute podcast of these two people who never interact ever, reviewing the first page of Naruto. Funny gimmick. Don't know why it's on this fucking list, though. Don't know why it's on this list, because it was a one-off joke. Is my music really playing the egg hatching sound effect? Okay. Let's, So I'm going to throw this into, it's an C tier, whatever. Boomer versus Zoomer. Oh! Woo! I think it's a pretty good show. It was a pretty good show while it lasted. It's the podcast between Asterios, Kokonos, and myself, where each week we would sit down and just try to make the other guy laugh for about an hour. And there were different segments and bits, and it was a lot of fun while it lasted, for sure. What'd you guys think? A tier, S tier, S tier, S tier. Oh, people really like Boomer and Zoomer. I tend to agree. I think Insufferable Social Media Argument, the podcast, was the funnier show, but Boomer versus Zoomer still deserves the ranking of S, even if it is below Isma. The Simeon Jimmy Interview Show, a show that is currently on hiatus, where I would interview YouTubers for about an hour. We had like Siva Gunner? I already forgot it. Siva Gunner, and I did one with, can't remember. That's embarrassing. You interview a guy, you can't even remember his fucking name. But most importantly, I got to interview Johnny Hardwick, the voice actor for Dale Gribble on King of the Hill. That's not just one of the highlights of my year. That's one of the highlights of my life. That's some of the most fun I've ever had. I think if you watch that, it's like a 2-hour podcast. I don't think I ever stopped smiling. I was having so much fun. So excited. Been watching that show since I was fucking 4. And suddenly Dale Gribble's voice is talking back to me. So much fun. That being said, that one great episode doesn't make it an S tier show. I really liked the interview with Daft Peanut. Yeah, Daft Peanut was great. We got to hear what his actual voice sounds like, since in his videos he does a character. Still waiting for the Drake Bell interview. The Baseball Sam episode. Oh, talk about classic. Man, that show has some classic episodes already. We start off the episode by reviewing and watching Baseball Sam's greatest video, which I think has since been deleted from YouTube because Baseball Sam quit and deleted all his fucking videos. So I guess my video is the only archive of this that probably remains. But we watch his masterpiece, and then we get him on the call, and it becomes an impromptu episode of the interview show And he admits that, like, that his dad was molested or some shit. There was some weird stuff in that fucking episode. If you want to get into the Simi and Jimmy interview show, watch the Dale Gribble interview and watch the Baseball Sam interview. Fucking instant classics of my career. I love them. I fucking love them. I'm gonna throw that into I'll throw that into, A tier. Fuck it. It's got, considering that half of the episodes I would consider instant classics, it's gotta be. Got a link. It's on the Simi and Jimmy YouTube channel. Just search. It's called Nostalgia Critic Jr. Simi and Jimmy interview show, because his character was Nostalgia Critic Jr. Don't ask. Just go look at it. Oh yeah, when his father was like 13, he had sex with a college girl. I love it. And they all thought it was just normal. No, we never did go bowling. The kid lived one city over from me at the time, and he refused to go bowling with me. And now I live in Iowa, so I'll never get to go bowling with Sam. All right, the PCP, folks. I had a short-lived tenure on the PCP. For those of you who don't know, the PCP is a group of friends who used to podcast about My Little Pony, but then gave into the pressure of everybody making fun of bronies, and they decided they didn't want to be bronies anymore. So they started a new show where they just circle jerk for about 3 hours each week about whatever topic they wanted to do. There's like 10 different people in the group. And sometimes you'll have 12 people on an episode. Sometimes you'll have 3. It really, who knows? Who could say? They invited me on as a guest around episode 30. Then I became a permanent fixture. And then Endless Jess had a psychotic breakdown and lost his mind because people I was friends with were bullying him. And he blamed me for not controlling other people. And Digibro can't get Endless Jess's cock out of his mouth and does whatever Jess says. So Digibro started a new Discord server, invited all of the PCP other than me in there, and straight up said, we have to kick him out. Mumkey has to go no matter what. Don't even let him defend himself. We're going to have this meeting without him. He can't say anything to defend himself. We're just going to vote right now. And if you don't vote with me, then I'm not your friend anymore. And then he strong-armed and voted me out. And then Endless Jess didn't even return to the show. So they lost their 2 funniest people. Get fucked, I guess. Fucking morons. So I lasted about 30 episodes. What do you guys think? PCP was Mumkey's peak? I strongly disagree. I showed up for the paycheck, my friends. You think I gave a shit about whatever fucking dumb topics they had every week? Personally, I never listened to the PCP. Even when I was on it, I wouldn't listen to the show. So I can't really judge it because I don't know much about it. PCP drama was peak Mumkey drama? Where have you been the last 6 months, my dude? I don't think you're correct about that. Finish off the run with this. Yeah, Munchie is great. Munchie was a vote to keep me. He's great. Yeah, PCP, not a big fan. Not a big fan. But I know a lot of people like it. We'll throw it into B tier. It can be funny at times. Finally, this is Mumkey tries to get Psy into I think we had maybe 12 episodes of this, where Psy, famous YouTuber Psy, and I would get down together each week, and one of us would try to convince the other one to like whatever random thing. So he would like try to get me into some like fucking lowly anime or some shit. I would try to get him into my favorite band, Arion, and we'd go back and forth. And, I felt really bad because I listened back to an episode not too long ago, and I think it was just a vehicle for me to subtly and not so subtly make fun of and bully Psy. And I kind of felt like a shitty person listening back to those. Because whether it's funny or not, I don't know if I needed to be making fun of him that much. It just seems kind of cruel. Because unlike like my friend Biggs, I don't think Cy can really handle it that well. It was kind of, it's not like I knew him personally. It was just kind of cruel. But I don't know. Did anybody enjoy that show? All you do is bully your friends. Yeah, but there's a difference between friends who you've known for years and they bully you back and it's like that's your relationship, and some fucking guy you only talk to on a podcast you've never met before who doesn't really make fun of you back. If they don't do it back, at that point I think it's just bullying. It's not friendship, you know? And I would like to think if I'm making fun of somebody, they would feel comfortable enough to make fun of me back. That's how I define friendship. The highest level of respect you can share with another person is when you can talk shit to each other's faces and still give each other a high five and a hug afterwards, because it's fucking funny and it's fun. But when it's not reciprocal, it comes across as bullying, and I don't like it. I don't like it. What do you have on you that lets people make fun of you, Mumkey? Good point. I'm infallible. Nobody could possibly make fun of me. Yeah, Asperger Versus wasn't included on the list. I don't know. I didn't make it. Just reinstall your YouTube channel, bro. What the fuck? Good point. All right. This one, it's probably on tier with the fucking PCP. Why not? Call Cy on stream. If Cy wanted to call into the stream and hang out, I'd be down for it. Probably owe him a couple apologies. But with that, I think we might be done for the night, because I kind of really have to go piss. And we did 2 fun tier lists, had a good time, had a ball. And I think this is where I say goodbye for now, but I'll be back tomorrow in approximately 13 hours for Is It Kino? The new season of Is It Kino starts, and we're planning on doing a new Is It Kino episode every single Sunday at 1 o'clock Eastern time, which I think is like 11 or 10 California. I don't fucking know. 1 o'clock Eastern time every Sunday. Me and Florian sit down for Is It Kino? What movies will we review next? Who knows? But hey, everybody, thanks for tuning in. First stream back after months of not streaming on Twitch. Got a good 2 hours of bullshit in. And look, according to my OBS, there were 0 dropped frames. It was pristine quality the entire time. Oh yeah, before I piss, we should end it with Brad Dassey. You guys are right. We cannot forget our traditions, folks. Cannot forget our traditions. Things work a certain way around here. I'm coming home. Okay. Okay, we've got to start this over so we can actually hear it. If you're wearing headphones, look out.
I dedicate this video to Marlene Glish, my grandmother, who was passed in 2008. She had taught me about music when I was younger, and I just dedicate this video to her. I just want to say, Grandma Marlene, I love you, and I can't wait to make it to heaven with you. And the song is about coming to heaven, and I'll see you when I come home. I love you.
I love you, Jesus.
Top 10 songs to beat your dead grandma to. Top 10 songs to divorce your wife to.
When you're born, then we live, and we die, it's the circle of life. We are free, free to believe in one God in this nation.
Okay, Lewanda says, were you the one who introduced me to the Now They're Up in Heaven dumbass kids song about Sandy Hook? Yeah, that's a good song. You guys, if you haven't heard that song, it was memed to death when it came out right after Sandy Hook. The little girl who's rapping about all the kids who got killed. It's really good. Now they're up in heaven. Now they're up in heaven. Yeah, great song.
Know what life has to really offer, but we know how to live, how to give.
What do you mean
with
it's
our
not good? That's a great song,
imagination.
Wanda.
We love,
Great song.
we care, 'cause our heart is filled with passion. We are born, then we live, and we die. It's the circle of life. We are free, free to believe in one God in this nation.
I should do a 24-hour live stream listening to this
This
song.
we fly. It's the circle of
I
life.
guess the Sandy Hook song is better than this. How
We
dare
are
you!
free,
This
free
is the
to
greatest song of our
believe
generation.
that God gave us this life.
Hey, Ben!
We feel
Ben,
pain.
why are you not a mod?
We feel joy. We're only
Ben,
human.
thanks for the bits, buddy.
We like to love. We like to laugh. We have the spirit of life.
Ryan Keebler is living
But
down
this
in
we
Georgia
know.
now, Miko.
We sometimes feel
what happens.
the devil attacks our life. So we must trust that God protects our life. We are born, then we live, and we die. It's the circle of life. We are free, free to believe in one God in this nation.
Baron says I should come back to New York and we can go to a burlesque show with Wang and get some tacos. I'd be down for that. It's been a little bit since I went to New York, but if we got friends to hang out with, maybe I'll come.
We must do all we can for our battle plan. We must live, we must love, we must care before we pass. So this I know, where we go after we live and pass. So this I say, as we pray, the times come at last. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. We must cry, we must lie before the kingdom's throne.
You gotta remember the lyrics.
We must know, we are shown that this life is not our own. I'm coming home. We must do all we can before this life is over. Before we die, before we pass, we must make love last. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. I'm coming.
The Autobot blocked the word love for being sexual. What a fucking joke. How long is the song? Like 6 minutes? Yeah, 6 minutes exactly. Yes, this is a Christian song. She said, I love you, Jesus, at the beginning. Okay. Everybody go, if you want to listen to this on your own, go to YouTube, search up I'm Coming Home, Brad Dassey. Folks, I'll see you tomorrow morning with some Keno. It's been fun. Thanks for tuning in.